All right, let's get rocking and rolling. I'm really excited about today's webinar, and I think you guys are going to be really happy with what we have to share with you today. So this is what I like to call the POZ Automated Prospect Journey 2.0, updated and turbocharged. So let's jump right into it. Let's start off by talking about COVID. This is the elephant in the room, right? We have to be able to acknowledge number one, that COVID has been hard on our business throughout 2020, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We know that both Pfizer and Moderna have vaccines that have 90 or 95% effectiveness, respectively. We're still waiting on AstraZeneca and a few other smaller companies that are still in phase 3. So we know that by April or May, many of the people in our country who are most at risk will have been vaccinated by then, which means that between now and then, there's going to be very limited ability to do university workshops. Now, you may be in a part of the country that is not locked down. You may be in Florida or Texas or some other places that aren't as stringent with the lockdowns. You can have meetings. You just have to remain socially distanced and wear masks. So I know that for a very, very few of you, university workshops, you actually have those on the docket, which is great. But for the rest of us, we need to have a field-tested program that allows us to generate massive amounts of leads and prospects between now and then, that allows you to continue to perpetuate your business in a virtual way, and that buys you some time until we can start getting back into the university workshop venues and back into those classrooms. And by the way, this may be something that you just set on autopilot in perpetuity that complements everything that you're doing in the university classrooms. Now, for the uninitiated, let's just do a sort of a recapitulation of what the POZ automated prospect journey is. By the way, 2.0 is going to have everything that you liked about APJ 1.0 and none of the things that you disliked. It's, of course, features a live recording of me giving my flagship Power of Zero presentation. I probably did 9 different versions until we found one that was just perfect. And once people have made it through that presentation, they are going to get the ability to request a free, no strings attached copy of the Power of Zero. And by the way, Power of Zero pays for that copy of Power of Zero along with the shipping. A week after that, they're also going to get a free viewing of our documentary, The Tax Train is Coming. We also pay for that. The only difference this time around is they're going to get that by email. They're not going to get that by mail. They're just going to get a link in an email where they can click on it and start watching it. Once they've done those two things, they're going to fall into a 6-week automated nurturing sequence. All of the emails that they get during that automated nurturing sequence are emails created by me. They're designed to push people to listen to our podcasts and ultimately sign up for a strategy session to work with David McKnight. And at any point during that 6-week process, they can request a strategy session with me. And once they do that, I am going to make a professional handoff or an endorsement, if you will, of whichever advisor paid for the campaign that generated that lead. All right, so that is sort of a summary of what APJ is really all about, is this whole idea that in a traditional lead system, you get the ball on your own 5-yard line. You got to drive 95 yards just to make a score. And there's all sorts of things that can stall your drive along the way. What we're aiming to do is put you in a position where you get the ball on your opponent's 5-yard line. And we've done all the heavy lifting for you in terms of driving the ball down the field. And all you have to do is punch the ball into the end zone. So what have we changed about APJ? We have updated the marketing approach. It's 100% digital now. We have partnered with Slipstream, and the results that the dollar for dollar results that we've gotten from these campaigns that we've tested have been 5 times greater than what we did previously. So we've partnered with, many of you know Philip Meese of Slipstream. I believe he's on the webinar today. And we partner with Philip, and we believe that Philip is really decoded Facebook like nobody else in the industry has. And he has cracked the code, if you will, and he has devised a formula which through the campaigns that we've tested with him, we've done 10 different campaigns in 10 different parts of the country. We've gotten 5 times greater results than what we did the first time we tested APJ. What's different about the POZ Slipstream approach? Well, we are going to expand your marketing territory. We have attempted in days long since past to conduct Facebook campaigns in a traditional Power Zero territory where you have a certain set of zip codes and you have 10,000 households to which you can market. And the Facebook campaign was running just to those zip codes. And what we found was there weren't enough viewers to be able to buy, to take advantage of all of that ad spend. Okay, so a lot of that ad spend was really sort of languishing and not getting utilized in a timely way. And so what Philip has really mastered the art of is he'll say, okay, you're in, let's say you're in the Dallas area. He's going to look in other territories where we currently do not have POZ advisors, and he's going to expand the marketing campaign, the digital Facebook marketing campaign into those territories in an attempt to get a much broader audience, which means there's going to be some people you will have to work with virtually because they're not going to be maybe close enough to where you are to justify driving all that way. But this is very, very key. We do not market into other POZ advisor territories. Your territory is sacrosanct. We are not going to be putting Facebook campaigns in your territory from another advisor. These, as you will soon see, these Facebook campaigns are targeted heavily on future tax rates, heavily on the national debt and the implications for our country. And they're also really leveraging the David McKnight / POZ brand recognition. And so that's part of the reason why these campaigns have been so successful. We're leveraging a message that's very poignant for people in the demographic, which is that 50 to 65 demographic. And we're leading with David McKnight POZ, which has some name recognition across the nation. And the fact that we're offering a free copy of the Power of Zero and a free viewing of the movie certainly doesn't hurt our chances. Philip, one of the genius things about Philip's system is that over the last 5 years or so, he has built the profile of the perfect attendee to one of these workshops. How does he do that? Well, basically what he's done is over the years, he's basically analyzed the people that have responded to these types of workshops and then that are ideally suited for our message. And then for those of you who understand Facebook marketing, you know that you can upload that profile to Facebook and say, I want to target people that has this profile. So what Philip has done is he's sort of created this profile through all of the data that he's gathered over the last 5 years, and he's created the absolutely ideal target for our advertisements. And what he does is he creates what's called a Q factor. People fill out a quick survey before they register for the webinar, and they actually tell us what type of assets they have. And what he's found is that the Q factor, which basically measures how appropriate they are for our message, the Q factor that he's generated on people that attended our webinar through these 10 campaigns was absolutely through the roof. He said, Dave, we've never seen anything like it in all of our other campaigns. People are flocking to this message because it's so ideally suited to the demographic that they're in. Now, our campaign is going to be held primarily on Saturday morning. Saturday morning is when the vast majority of these attendees are going to come watch this message. And it's going to be billed as a live event. It's not one of those things where we sort of did it before where they can click on it whenever they want and then they can sort of watch it at their leisure. This is billed as a live event. We will also be utilizing part of your ad spend to hold a follow-up meeting that following Tuesday. In other words, in any campaign, that we do, you're going to get people that register that do not actually attend. So we're going to be retargeting, Philip's going to be retargeting those people along with other people that haven't signed up yet. And so we hold a follow-up event the following Tuesday. So we're going to get a lot of people that registered for the first one that didn't attend that are going to register for the second one. And we have seen amazing results from these follow-up campaigns. So let's dig into the proven slipstream formula. Why has Philip had such supercharged results? Well, the first thing that he's been able to do is he has a follow-up / reminder system that he's been utilizing that has absolutely skyrocketed the registration versus the attend ratio. And so they're going to get an email, they're going to get a text message, but they're also, and this is very, I think, groundbreaking, they're going to get a voicemail as well. And Philip has said, hey, Dave, we know roughly when those voicemails go out, and we go and we look at the registration and we can practically just see the needle moving in real time. And he says it's an amazing thing, innovation that the voicemail has brought to the table in terms of really ratcheting up the number of people that that actually attend versus those who only register and don't attend. They are going to be watching a webinar that they are absolutely convinced is live. We have filmed this as if it were live, and they are going to be watching it and feeling like it is a live event. It is a powerful combination of digital media, advertising, and live feel virtual presentation. And of course, like I said previously, it's going to be featuring my flagship Power of Zero presentation that I've given, well over 1,000 times. It's what I gave at at MDRT in 2014. It's what I'll be giving at MDRT in 2021 as well. It is a honed, refined presentation that is designed to get them to want to adopt the Power of Zero approach. And this is what the landing page looks like. You can see at the top, we're really leading with this idea that we want them to, that at the end of the workshop, they're going to get a free copy of the Power of Zero if they elect to. It's one night only, okay? And this is, it would be one day only if it were the Saturday event. And look, David McKnight Live. So we're leading with David McKnight branding, impact of the national debt on U.S. retirees, major shockwave. This is proven stuff. What I found out about Facebook is that our most natural impulse when it comes to these types of ads is usually 180 degrees wrong. And so what Philip has done a great job of doing is field testing these things. And so you're not the guinea pig because he's already field tested all this stuff. You're getting the stuff that is proven to yield amazing results. So let's take a look at the numbers. We have much more field tested campaigns with APJ 2.0 than we did APJ 1.0. We got 10 campaigns that we've executed so far, and this is what the numbers look like. We've gotten 5 times the results of APJ 1.0. What does that mean? We've gotten 5 times more people to request a copy of the Power of Zero. To us, just because they register doesn't mean that they're a lead. If they request the book, they watch the webinar, then they request the book. Now, all of a sudden, we're in business. We have a lead. So these are some, just a fraction of the events that we've held so far. October 24th, 27th. Notice that the 24th is a Saturday event. The 27th is the follow-up event. So we're combining those two. Those count as one campaign. 102 books ordered. Had a super event on November 14th and 17th. 495 attendees, 391 books ordered. I mean, we're talking about like an 83% book request ratio, and we've never seen anything like this in any of our other campaigns. When you put it all together, 83% book request rate, 1,400 books ordered in less than 3 weeks. So when I say updated and supercharged, you can see exactly what we mean. Now, why is an APJ lead so valuable? Think about it this way. If you could talk to someone who had watched my flagship presentation, that's that 50-minute presentation on the webinar, they received and read a copy of the Power of Zero, and they watched the movie, so they have a real intellectual justification that tax rates are going up. They've gotten spoon-fed some of our key episodes of the Power of Zero Show podcast. And then they go through really a 6-week nurturing process where they're getting emails from me 2 to 3 times a week just to keep them warm. Now remember, after 6 weeks, all of these leads are yours. What we anticipate based on the 10 campaigns that we've gotten so far, actually, I'm going to get into results here in a second. We are going to make the handoff to you after 6 weeks. Now, one of the objections that we've gotten from you guys in the past, and I don't think it's entirely unjustified, is that when we handed the lead over to you, it did not have the phone number. We had the email address, but it didn't have the phone number. And that was problematic because if they didn't respond to your email, you really only had no other recourse other than to look the lead up on the internet and try to track down the phone number. Philip's system is very innovative in the sense that because we are asking them if they want to have us follow up by text by way of reminder, we're asking for their phone number ahead of time. And according to Philip, about 85% of these people will give us their phone number. Remember, historically, we haven't wanted to ask for the phone number because the more information you ask of someone, the less likely they are to actually register. Philip hasn't found any of those issues with his approach. And so what we found is that 85% will actually give us the phone number. That means 15% won't have the phone number, but 85% will. And for us, that is a massive, massive victory. After 6 weeks, we are going to hand that lead over to you. I'm going to send a personalized email to every one of those leads, introducing you as the best Power of Zero advisor in that geographical area to help shepherd them through the entire Power of Zero process. That's going to happen no matter what. You can also purchase what we call an APJ Advisor Info Packet, and many of you have done so already. What does this do? It's the handoff of the silver leads from David McKnight to advisor. So what do I mean by a silver lead? Well, let's say you receive, and we'll talk about more on this in the next screen. Let's say you receive 100 leads from your campaign. And let's say 5 of those leads have requested a strategy session from me, David McKnight, and they agree to meeting with you, the advisor. We call those gold leads. Okay, those are leads. They're absolutely golden. You are on the 5-yard line, ready to punch the ball into the end zone. Now, what's to become of those remaining 95 leads that did not sign up for the strategy session? Remember, these are the people that have watched the webinar, they received the book, they may have also watched the movie, listened to podcasts. These are still good leads. We can't discount these leads, particularly if there's 95 of them. We've got to make the handoff of these leads to you. And one of the ways to do this is through the APJ Advisor Info Packet. What does it include? It's an 8-page booklet. It's personalized with your information in there. You can see we've created a fictional advisor in this particular brochure. It's Mark Thomas. There's no such Mark Thomas in our program. But that's going to have your information in it. It's going to be mailed with a letter from David McKnight, first class. And it's going to talk about how great you are and how you are the ideal advisor to help shepherd them through the process. This is what the letter looks like from the desk of David McKnight. You can sort of get a flavor for what I talk about. If you are a member of our Elite POZ Advisor Group, we will mention that in the letter. They're going to get this brochure, which basically talks you up, and it's going to come in an envelope from our office that actually has the Power of Zero branding on the back. Okay, and if I can just go backwards here as a reminder, that's going to cost you $11 per packet. So if you have 100 leads from this program, 95 of which are silver leads, you're going to spend $11 times 95. Okay, but they're all going to get that packet, and they're all going to be much more ready to receive the phone call when you make it. All right. All right, let's get down to brass tacks here. What can you expect from each campaign? 300 plus webinar registrations. And by the way, when we go through these numbers, based on the averages that we've experienced so far, these are going to really be on the low end. What we're trying to do is under promise and over deliver. Last thing we want to do is give you these exalted expectations and not be able to deliver on them. So if you look at the average of the 10 campaigns we've done so far, it's generated about 1,400 book requests. Okay, that's 140 book requests per campaign. What we're trying to do here is temper expectations. 150 attendees, 100 plus book orders. Okay, so we don't want to give you an exalted expectation and not be able to hit it. So what we think we can deliver consistently is 100 book orders. And like I said, that's going to generate two types of leads, gold leads and silver leads. The gold leads are the ones that come to my website and say, Dave, I can't do this on my own. I absolutely need help. And I think that you're the one that can help us do it. And that's where, given my high credibility in their eyes, I can now transfer that credibility to you, the advisor. Actually, that number right there, 4 to 5 leads, is low. We think that's actually closer to 5 to 6 leads. And then the balance of those are going to be, 94, 95 leads are going to be the silver ones. These are the ones where you get to follow up with them, but for which I have made that professional handoff or professional endorsement of you, the advisor. All right, let's talk about the investment. Okay, a standard campaign, and there are other types of campaigns, but the standard campaign looks a little bit like this. You're going to spend about what you would have spent on a university workshop when you consider the cost of mailing, the cost of classrooms, the cost of workbooks, all that. That would have cost you over $8,000. So this campaign is going to cost you about $8,000, 3,000 of which will go to Slipstream for all of the work that they do to get the campaign up and running and to make sure that it's operating smoothly. And then 5,000 of that 8,000 is going to go towards your Facebook ad spend. Now, how that's going to work is 4,000 of that ad spend is going to be spent on your Saturday workshop, and 1,000 of that is going to be allocated towards your Tuesday evening workshop. Now, you can do less than $8,000. No matter what, $3,000 is going to go to Slipstream because they have to get paid. Regardless of how much ad spend you pay for, they have to do the same amount of work. So they're going to get $3,000 no matter what. So if you want to do $1,500 ad spend, you can do $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Just keep in mind, if you do less, less than $5,000, say you do $4,000, that's all going to go towards your Saturday campaign, and you won't have anything left over for your Tuesday evening campaign. So that's the total investment. All right. If this is something that looks like it's an interesting approach, it's compelling, it's an improvement over what you observed with APJ 1.0, and we can tell you that all of our data shows that this is about 5 times more productive than what we were able to do with APJ 1.0. What are your next steps? Well, you need to go directly to Slipstream and book a marketing consultation with David Hart. That is the person you need to talk to. You can talk to him either over the phone or you can talk to him by way of email. Either way, he can discuss your territory. He can discuss all of the details of your specific campaign, dates when that campaign will run, how do you get it up and running, what time frame do you need, so on and so forth. Another thing is that Slipstream has a real-time dashboard where you're going to be able to go in there and look at how many people have registered and how many people they anticipate will show up. They have algorithms and formulas that help predict all of this, and they can actually predict how many attendees they think that you will have for a given campaign. Very, very good. They're also going to include in there which of those people that signed up and attended also requested the book. Book requests are fulfilled by Integrity Marketing. As a reminder, a gold lead is one that requests a meeting. You will be notified immediately by me when that lead has requested an appointment. Okay, so those are going to happen immediately. After 6 weeks, remember, we got to let APJ run its course. There's early adopters, mid adopters, and late adopters. We have to let it run its course. But after 6 weeks, we're going to hand any any person that attended the webinar and requested a book but did not sign up for a strategy session, we are going to hand all of those leads over to you. Minimally, we will make an email introduction. If you want, we can you can spend that $11 per packet and have the advisor info packet. All right. Told you that wouldn't be too long. Let's open this up to some questions.